The purpose of prescribing medications is to help us feel well. However, with people living longer and our aging population in Canada, people are taking more and more medications to treat numerous chronic health conditions. Problems can arise over time when patients are taking medications at doses that are too high or are no longer necessary. This can lead to unwanted side effects, drug interactions, and toxicity. At what point are you taking too many medications, and how do we know they are at the right dose for you? That is the topic I'd like to talk to you today about, the problem of polypharmacy, and the need to personalize medications to each individual, to you. Can this work for you? Stay tuned and let me tell you how.
Polypharmacy.
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 Deprescribing.
Polypharmacy.
Deprescribing drugs.
The Health Depot Pharmacy, where health comes first.
Hi, my name is Andy Doddle, Certified Geriatric Pharmacist and CEO of the Health Depot Pharmacy. Today I'm going to talk to you about the problem of polypharmacy, why it's a growing problem, but most importantly, how we can help fix it. And finally, I'll tell you how we can help personalize medications to you. To start off, what is polypharmacy? In simple terms, it literally means taking 5 or more medications. The problem with polypharmacy arises when patients are taking too many medications that are at doses that are too high or are no longer necessary. Polypharmacy is one of the 2 biggest contributing factors to loss of independence and health decline in seniors. The other factor is compliance, which is taking prescriptions as it is prescribed by your doctor. Unfortunately, compliance is less than 50% in Canada, and the problem is even worse in the aging populations. Reasons for poor compliance includes forgetting or choosing not to take your medications. Not surprisingly, most of healthcare's attention has been spent on trying to improve compliance, as taking potentially life-saving medications is definitely important. However, solving this problem is a little bit of an uphill battle, as choosing not to take your medications as prescribed likely has something to do with the first problem, the problem of polypharmacy. How bad is polypharmacy, you ask? Well, in 2016, the Canadian Institute of Health Information reported that 2/3 of seniors were taking 5 or more medications, a quarter of seniors took 10 or more medications, and an astounding 8.4% took 15 or more medications. Polypharmacy can have a drastic effect on patient safety. In seniors, 1/3 of all hospital visits are due to them taking at least one potentially inappropriate medication. A Beers List medication. No, not that kind of a Beers List. This one. A 21-page document of inappropriate medications that should not be taken by seniors. Medications that when they accumulate in the body, as they tend to do as we age, can have additive effects with other medications and cause unnecessary harm. The point is that these medications should be avoided in seniors, as there are much safer alternatives to treat the same conditions. Helping everyone to stay healthy and avoid unnecessary hospital visits is even more important than ever during these tough times. As everyone is learning to adapt to our strange new world, we have to do our part to keep everyone safe. Why do medications accumulate? Well, as our bodies age over time, our abilities to process medications declines, leading to accumulation, increased side effects, and possibly even toxicity. The changes in our bodies has an effect on our ability to absorb, distribute, metabolize, and excrete medications. 2 of the most important reasons why medications accumulate over time is because our liver and our kidneys slowly deteriorate. Most medications are broken down by our liver by cytochrome P450 enzymes, which also happen to be the sites where most drug-to-drug interactions occur. On the other hand, the majority of medications are filtered and excreted from our bodies using our kidneys, which unfortunately slow down a little bit more every year of our lives. With our bodies continually changing, this poses an important question. Shouldn't our medications and their doses continually be changing too? Simple answer is yes, they should. This graph shows a steady yearly decrease in our kidney function that I was just talking about. Interesting fact, pharmaceutical companies often conduct their safety studies in healthy 20 to 40-year-olds, even if it's for a medication that is supposed to treat an 80 to 90-year-old. This happens because young adults are less likely to have side effects, drug interactions, and other health conditions that could complicate the results of the study. But creating max tolerated dosing ranges in young adults can have a hazardous effect when applied to seniors, who have less liver and sometimes 3 to 4 times less kidney function. This can cause medications to stick around much longer and accumulate in the body. No wonder seniors often complain of being dizzy all the time, which, by the way, is not a normal process of aging. Instead, being dizzy all the time suggests your doses might be too high, or you might be on too many medications. To illustrate the severity of this problem, I will share with you a story from an acquaintance, who we'll name John, that is unfortunately pretty common in our current healthcare system. John has a mother who was approaching 90 years old and was on 17 different medications. He referred to her as a walking zombie, dizzy all the time. She just wasn't herself for years. John took his mother from doctor to specialist, each making slight alterations to her medications. Increase a dose here, switch to one there, but nothing really improving. Eventually, John's mom fell down and broke her hip, which often can be a death sentence in the elderly, as many suffering broken hips unfortunately do not make it through the next year. Immediately concerned, I asked, "Oh my gosh, how is she?" He responded, "Oh, she's fine." To which I asked, "How long has it been?" He responded, "Oh, it's been a couple of years. In fact, it was the best thing that ever happened to her." I was shocked and replied, "What do you mean it was the best thing that ever happened to her?" He went on to explain, "You see, since she broke her hip, she went to the hospital for 2 months, and while in the hospital, the doctor worked together with the pharmacist, with blood work, and feedback from the nurse, and eventually personalized her medications for what she needed." He smiled and asked, "How many meds do you think she left on?" "I guess 8 or 9? Thinking getting off half the meds would have been quite a feat. "Nope," he responded. With a smile, she left on 5. In 2 months, the hospital team had gotten her off 12 unnecessary medications that over the years had accumulated, and the side effects of those meds had caused her to need even more meds. You might ask, how these kind of stories happen and who's to blame? Often people are quick to point fingers at doctors, yet this could not be further from the truth. I had the unique experience of growing up in a large healthcare family. My dad's a doctor, uncle's a doctor, sister-in-law's a surgeon, mother's an occupational therapist, sister's a physiotherapist, aunt's a nurse, and my wife and myself are both certified geriatric pharmacists. With all this lifetime experience in healthcare, I witnessed firsthand that doctors are incredibly overworked, and quite frankly, our healthcare system has put too much stress and responsibility on them. Our healthcare system has been failing them. You see, doctors and pharmacists both have 4 years of complementary teaching. Doctors do 95% of their schooling on diagnosing and 5% about medications, while pharmacists do the opposite. Yet when they graduate, doctors, for all intents and purposes, are expected to do their job and the pharmacist's job. This could explain why a third of Ontarians do not have a family doctor right now. Doctors are overworked. It's the system that has failed doctors and not yet allowed pharmacists to help out. The healthcare silo in the community setting has meant that pharmacists have not had access to important information, such as diagnosis, specialist reports, and blood work. The ideal healthcare system would have doctors focusing on diagnosing the tens of thousands of conditions out there, and then based on the diagnosis, the pharmacist chooses the right medication and the right dose based on side effects, your other medication, and how your body processes them. The problem is that pharmacists have not had access to this information in the past, but it's exciting that we now do. With ClinicalConnect and Connect in Ontario, healthcare practitioners are able to share and view health records in real time for any patient within their circle of care. Don't worry, your personal health information is protected and very tightly regulated. ClinicalConnect, more importantly, allows healthcare practitioners to access diagnosis information, specialist reports, drug filling history, and most importantly, provincial lab work in both the hospital and community settings. Certified geriatric pharmacists can use this blood work to help personalize medications to each individual, to you. Certified geriatric pharmacists have special knowledge on how to adapt medications to our bodies as we age. This includes making dose adjustments based on values in your blood work, such as creatinine, that tells us how your kidneys are functioning. It is my hope that blood work analysis becomes more of a focus in pharmacist education going forward, as I see this as the future of pharmacy. ClinicalConnect is game-changing for healthcare, and I'm excited to use it at the Health Depot Pharmacy with our growing team of certified geriatric pharmacists to help fight polypharmacy, medication overuse, and to help personalize medications to you. This might involve working together with your doctor to lower your dose, switch it to a safer alternative, or yes, even deprescribing, getting you off a medication. After all, you shouldn't have to fall and break your hip and spend 2 months in the hospital to get personalized care. We need to move healthcare from a reactionary system and bring it into a preventative one. It's time to let pharmacists help. Let's bring that collaborative care from the hospital setting and bring it into the community. Thanks for listening. If you enjoyed this content, please like this video and subscribe to our channel. And if you'd like more pharmacy content on other health topics, please leave a request in the comments. And if you'd like a little bit more information on some of our other great health services, have a look at the links below. And remember, we're always available and happy to help at
The Health Depot Pharmacy, where health comes first.